Hey guys. Well, look what came in the mail today. Marked priority mail. Thank you, United States Postal Service. That would be the Highway Dirtbike Hand Guard. Thank you. We're going to be putting this on today because I need it. And I've been out in the bush enough and had enough close calls with branches, trees, rocks, other sorts of things that I don't want to be that guy with the broken off clutch lever driving around town. So let's take a look at things. So this is what came in the box, guys. Obviously the hand guard for each side, and these things are beefy. I don't know if you can see how beefy that is. I got a ruler over here, I should check that exactly. But yeah, I would say that's a good almost 3/8. I have to say 3/8. Let's check the end. Let's call it just shy of 3/8. And for my metric friends out there, let's call it just shy, probably 9 mils. Got a fly right there. He's dead. Oh, he survived, but he'll be back. Anyways, so you get two hand guards. They're pretty beefy. They're very beefy, actually. When I opened the box, I was like, oh man, these are a lot fatter than they look on the website. So that's pretty awesome. And of course, you got your choice of black or white shields. I ordered the ADV top clamp, the normal one, or the first one that you can order that comes with it. Just has your holes and your slot here. It doesn't have these. These are for switches and whatnot. So I opted to go to that just in case one day I'm going to add something like hand warmers or who knows, other lights. But also very beefy. I've got the fat bars on mine, the Renthal fat bars. So I believe you can only order these with fat bars. If you've got the smaller 7/8 bars, they have other setups for them. So you got your swivel ends here for where your bars are going to tie into, and associated hardware. I believe these are your you're going to tap your bars out for these inserts so that your bars can screw in. They're pretty beefy. And of course you have the mirrors, which are, these things are heavy duty. They're ABS plastic, and that's pretty heavy duty stuff, some sort of nylon. So I look forward to getting those on. Can you see yourself? Can you? Look. There you are. There you are. Okay, now screwing around. Let's put it together. Here she is, Miss Yamimoto, waiting for her new Highway Dirtbike hand guards. So let's get to her. Okay, first up. Now the instructions ask you, or instruct you, to take off your hand grips and your throttle so that you can adjust the ends here. You got to cut them out so that the hand guards can come up flush to the bars. I don't really feel like taking mine off, so I mean, I'm going to try it this way. So you can see on the throttle, my throttle tube doesn't protrude past. You can see it's inside my actual end of my handlebar, so not a problem leaving my grips on with the stock Yamaha throttle body there, or a throttle tube. Okay guys, now for the next step, which is tapping out those bar ends. Now they include the tap for that. All you need to do is provide the socket. They call for an 11mm 12-point socket. I've got a 12mm, but it doesn't fit 'cause it's not 11 point. So I've found that 7/16 works just fine. It's pretty snug in there for what we're doing. And the WD-40 is on hand, so let's get at it. So we're ready to go. As you can see in my handlebar here, I got a little bit of adhesive that's still in there from the factory install. So I'm just gonna cut as much of that out of that opening there in the beginning as possible. Reason being, it's adhesive. It's just gonna gum up my tap. So we'll get as much of it as we can out. I'm going to start off with a little blast in here. WD, just to get things rolling. So while you're threading this guy in, keep her lubed. And she'll start to guide herself where she needs to be. So once the handlebars are threaded, you can run in your insert. Now, before you do, just make sure you run your tap in and out quite a few times. 2 or 3 times, just to clear out the excess debris in there. It'll make threading in this this insert a lot easier. If you're fighting little bits of aluminium, it makes for a hard go. So when you thread it in, you've got to make sure that your insert is actually inside your handlebar. And they say about a 32nd of an inch. And if you run a straight edge across it, just to make sure that there's no fouling there. Alright, the next step is to install the Highway Dirtbike top clamp. And they recommend, if it's going to be a little tight, that you can install the swivel bosses prior to installing the top plate. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll put this on the bike. Okay, I'm going to put a little reference mark here before I pull off my top clamps, just so my bar doesn't shift out of place, or I just want to get it back where I normally have it. I'm just going to put a little mark here, a little fine tip mark, so it'll be the top of my lower, and then also my positioning left and right. So one thing to take note of, I discovered this as I was putting it on. My ignition key was in place, and I've got this monster ring on it. And if you have a ring on your key like this, it's not going to allow you to get your key in there and then turn. So you've got to either get a really small key ring, like a lanyard or something, but it is tight. It is tight getting that sucker. It goes in, that's no problem. and you can turn it. It's all good. No problem with clearance under there, but you can't have a monster big key ring. Not that that's monster big, but you're gonna need a lanyard or something to hang your key off, and you're not gonna be able to hang your other goods like myself. Right, now we're gonna attach our hand guard, the swivel end of the hand guard, to our swivel base, our bosses. Next, we're going to bring our bar end up to the end of the handlebar and attach it. Just a little tip here, if you want to save yourself some hassles, put the mirror on before you put the hand guard on. They say to do it after. It's a nightmare trying to work around the brake lever and you can only do like little quarter turns. So I'd say put it on first and be done with it. And sink this little bolt here as far out as possible, because you've got to catch it with this little nut to hold things on. Okay, the hand guards are on, and the last thing to do is get rid of those "come break me off" attitude mirrors. And there you have it, the finished product. And we have these awesome mirrors now that hide when we're in the bush and pop out when we're on the road, which is pretty slick. There you go. I'm sure you will see more of this in the future.